I think NPR is about to lose its taxpayer funding based on what I saw yesterday, right? I think it's going to, based on what Trump tweeted and what we saw yesterday. It was so great to watch this woman, Katherine Maher. Have you, speaking of smug, right? She was so smug. She was like oozing contempt and like superiority and trying to be like, thank you so much for raising a thank you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to respond to that. Now let me lie for 2 minutes about how it never happened. I appreciate you giving me the chance to lie about how I never did the controversial thing. I'm very grateful to you for bringing up. And then these congressmen just kept hitting her with, oh, you never did it? Oh, well, here's you saying you did it. And the best, I mean, there's so many good ones to choose from, but we might as well just kick it off with my new favorite congressman. He is from Texas. He's Brandon Gill. He's married to Dinesh D'Souza's daughter. I didn't know any of this. He is a stone cold assassin in that congressional seat. Watch him.
Do you believe that America is addicted to white supremacy?
I believe that I tweeted that, and as I've said earlier, I believe much of my thinking has evolved over the last half decade.
Do you believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy?
I don't believe that, sir.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the time, apparently, The Case for Reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
You tweeted about it. You said you took a day off to fully read The Case for Reparations. You put that on Twitter in January of 2020.
Apologies, I don't recall that I did.
Okay.
I'd no doubt that your tweet there is correct, but I don't recall that.
Okay. Do you believe that white people inherently feel superior to other races?
I do not.
You don't? You tweeted something to that effect. You said, I grew up feeling superior. How white of me. Why did you tweet that?
I think I was probably reflecting on what it was to grow up in an environment where I had lots of advantages.
It sounds like you're saying that white people feel superior.
I don't believe that anybody feels that way, sir. I was just reflecting on my own experiences.
Do you think that white people should pay reparations?
I've never said that, sir.
Yes, you did. You said it in January of 2020. You tweeted, yes, the North, yes, all of us, yes, America, yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt, yes, reparations, yes, on this day.
I don't believe that was a reference to fiscal reparations, sir.
What kind of reparations was it a reference to?
I think it was just a reference to the idea that we all owe much to the people who came before us.
Oh, my God.
I love him so much. I need to know him. He's got to come on this show. I have to tell him how much I deeply admire him.
He's an absolute rock star. So he was elected class president for the incoming freshmen, and for good reason. It's because of that. He showed up and he wanted to be the tip of the spear. He doesn't take any garbage. I mean, every time you see the left try to come up with some dirty trick to go after President Trump, to go after Republicans, or like this, try to rob taxpayers like NPR has been doing, pushing their fake hoaxes, he holds them accountable. That's what you want from a member of Congress. He's off to a phenomenal start, and you love to see it. You want to see this is the people that we are sending to Congress.
What I love most about it, Smug, is you can tell he's enjoying it.
Yes.
Oh, it's big smiles.
He's getting a crack in the smile as he's going back. It's like, oh, I got a receipt for that one too.
Yo, that's the best part. The cadence of it is fantastic.
Yes.
He's like, oh, but do you have? There's a tweet about it.
Yes, you did.
Good.
I love him. He's like,
so good.
Yeah, yes, you did. His lack of emotionality is what made it so good.
Totally.
He was just like, you did. You said that.
Yep.
You did
Yep.
tweet that. Here's the exact tweet. You did. You said you read that book. You said you took the whole day off and spent the day reading that book. And here's the thing that's so great about it is, so which is the lie? Were you lying when you said that you read these woke, annoying books time and time again to try to pander to left-wingers who you think are your fans? Was that a lie? Or are you lying today under oath when you're looking at me saying you never read these books? Because not only did you take the time to lie to all these people if you didn't read these books, but you actually tweeted it in front of, I don't know how many followers she has, probably hundreds of thousands. So the virtue signaling that she felt was important to do, to be like, I'm a leftist just like all of you, and I'm reading all your favorite insane books. Which is worse? If those were lies and she was just pandering, or if she really did that shit and then just lied under oath to Congress?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear that she lied under oath to Congress. I mean, look at the organization that she's running. I mean, this is not somebody who's faking leftism. You had a deep commitment to it over a period of time that, like, I don't know, if you just flip on the radio, turn on, I mean, that's what it is, folks. That's what it is. There's no secrets there.
Remember the TED
Do we
Talk
think she read the case for
Exactly.
reparations?
That's
I don't think she read the case for reparations. Go ahead, Ashbrook.
I remember the TED Talk she gave where she was trying to explain why truth doesn't matter, why leftist ideals are more important than truth.
Right. Yeah, that like objectivity
And
gets in the
how
way.
annoying white men are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I what I loved most about that exchange is like we all had this buddy in college who would black out so much, and then the next day you'd have to walk him through his evening, and he'd be like,
oh, no.
that doesn't sound like me at all. I'd never do that.
The end of it is like, all right, who do I need to do apologize?
Thank God that guy was never subjected to my new favorite representative. Would have killed him.
Although it probably went down exactly like that with his buddies. Yeah. It was like, well,
Yes, he did.
Here's a picture of it. I mean,
You
I didn't
tweeted
think
about
you
it.
were
Yeah.
I didn't know you were
did.
standing on the bar.
Yeah, you did. Here's more. First of all, I'll go back to the congressional hearing, but I will give you a little bit, for old time's sake, of Katherine Maher's TED Talk that you referenced in 2022. This is before she became the head of NPR. This is the stuff that got her the job. Watch.
That perhaps for our most tricky disagreements, seeking the truth and seeking to convince others of the truth might not be the right place to start. In fact, our reverence for the truth might be a distraction that's getting in the way of finding common ground and getting things done. Is because the truth of the matter is very often, for many people, what happens when we merge facts about the world with our beliefs about the world. So we all have different truths.
What the?
Yikes.
This is not extemporanea. She practiced that
Yep.
speech 37,000 times in front of the mirror so she could deliver it with that cadence and the in fact, folks, with that hushed tone.
It's like the worst HR person in corporate America showed up in your office and they're telling you why you have to shut your computer down. Right?
I mean, she's like,
Yes,
she's
and
the
making you
embodiment
go
of the
through all
problem.
the seminars. Go ahead, Smug.
She's the embodiment of the whole problem the left has now found itself in. They've been completely siloed off from the majority of people. The way she talks, she's doing a TED Talk with such self-importance and explain to people, here's the thing, there's lots of truths. You know, I run NPR. It's not important for me to give objective facts. We're talking about we need to get across the message that we want people to believe.
National Public Radio.
I'm not surprised at all that she has no memory of tweeting any of those things, because people like this, life is theater for these people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just acting, right? And so, yeah, when you're an actor, sometimes you forget your lines.
Here's some more from Katherine Maher over the years. Again, this is just over the past few years. Again, before she was made CEO, but I would suggest to you this is why they made her CEO in January of 2024. Okay, on looting. I mean, sure, looting is counterproductive, but it's hard to be mad about protests not prioritizing the private property of a system of oppression founded on treating people's ancestors as private property. On whiteness, I know that hysteric white woman voice. I was taught to do it. I've done it. It's a disturbing recognition. While I don't recall ever using it to deliberately expose another person to immediate physical harm on my own cognizance, it's not impossible. That is whiteness. She's got a rant about too many white men in business class and in the lounge. She's annoyed with seeing all the white people like herself and the guys, especially with the penises. She gets upset. I mean, there's, you name it, there's a tweet for it. Katherine Maher absolutely hates white people, but realistically, she doesn't. I think she's just faking. She's been faking for a long time, like all these other Upper West Side women who are the wokest that you can be, and who are being reflected in these polls as the only thing still propping up the Democratic Party, right? It's these woke white women like Katherine Maher. Meanwhile, black people are like, would you stop that shit for the love of God?
I have a fantastic idea for her. Since she's so concerned about reparations and everything in BLM. We're tearing up BLM Plaza here in Washington, D.C. 16th Street is going to be restored to its former glory. But NPR has some fantastic real estate here in our nation's capital, a beautiful building in the heart of the city. I think we take off the words NPR and we put BLM.
Yeah, and we can just have everybody go there too. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, we can just make it like basically housing.
Yeah.
Right? For everybody.
Yeah.
That'd be a service to the community. Maybe she'd be interested in that. I was sort of with her, though. When you were talking, Megyn, you were talking about the people that she cloisters herself around, and the white woman, the wine mom, essentially. She was like, "Oh, I know that voice." I was kind of with her on that. I mean,
Okay, Karen.
That's pretty much it. That's exactly what annoys all of us.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I've been that voice. Okay, what do you mean? Like, what specifically did you do? I want to know exactly. Get into more. That would have been a good follow up. Like, what exactly? You said you did this. Could you walk us through how and when you used the white woman voice and said all the things that you were taught? Who taught you that it's a disturbing recognition? And you're suggesting you did use it to deliberately expose another person to immediate physical harm. You might have done that. Who got hurt? Why'd you do that? That is fucking racist. That's actually really upsetting. Like, you should not be the head of NPR or any other news organization.
Well, I remember one time she used that voice and said, "You're fired," to a guy named Uri Berliner, who had the temerity to say, and maybe at NPR we should have another Republican or two. Maybe it shouldn't be 1,000 libs and Democrats.
Deep track,
Republican.
Deep track.
Good hit.
That's all. Here's a little bit more. Let's go to Representative Tim Burchett. This was one of the best. Side 8.
Why did you call President Trump a fascist and a deranged racist sociopath in 2020?
Congressman, I appreciate the opportunity to address this. I regret those tweets. I would not tweet them again today. They represented a time where I was reflecting on something that I believe that the president had said rather than who he is. I don't presume that anyone is a racist.
You don't believe anyone is a racist?
I don't start by presuming anyone is a racist, sir.
But thank you so much for asking me, because I love that. Why did you call him a racist, fascist sociopath? I regret that. I regret that. Bullshit. She doesn't regret that at all. She totally stands by every word of that.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to address all of these past comments. I can't thank you enough.
I think the most important thing for everyone to take away from all this is you're paying her.
Yeah.
Your money is going to her against your will, and that has to stop. It has to stop immediately.
You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy's already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you, too. You could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, text MK to the number 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.